Hey there! Thank you so much for requesting this video. I am so excited to take you through a total body workout that features a classic exercise combination that I love regardless of the tool we're using, and that is squatting and pressing. So today we're going to be bending those knees as well as the elbows to work the chest and the thighs, and you are going to get a fantastic workout. But before we get going, I just want to check in and say, if you are confused about any of these exercises, if you feel like you don't have a great handle on one of them, that is totally normal. You don't know what you don't know. And if you're new to exercise, how could you possibly be expected to know how to do a particular exercise properly? And that is why I have my She Beast Bells and Bodyweight program. It's a beginner-centric program that helps you master kettlebells while getting in fantastic shape over just 12 weeks. So if that sounds like something that sparks your interest, or if as you go through this workout, you start to realize maybe you need a little help with some moves, don't hesitate to reach out to me through the description below. You can book a call or you can just go right ahead and sign up for the program on your own. If you use the code SQUAT at checkout, you will get 10% off for having checked in and done this video. So I really hope to see you in the She Beast program, or just see you sweating it out following along with this video. Today's workout is going to be a follow-along format. So I will demonstrate something, you can watch, and then we will do it together unless I say otherwise, like just meet me on the floor and we're going to start moving together now. We are going to start with front foot elevated split squats, where you put your foot up on something in order to bring your knee through its full range of motion, and then pop down to the floor and do a beast hold to warm up the shoulders and the knees further. So I want you to come over to a surface that's somewhere around knee height. You might think higher is harder, but in this case, that is not true. Higher is easier. So you're going to put one leg up on that surface and get a big obtuse angle with your groin and thighs, meaning bigger than 90 degrees. I don't have that foot right underneath me. It's quite far back. Now I'm going to lunge my front leg over the foot past the toes. And you see here, my thigh and my calf, they're touching. You're going to go back and forth, almost flossing yourself back and forth. Now, I'm not sure if you can see it, but my heel is coming up off of the bench, and that is totally fine. In fact, I encourage it. Both heels will come up. So come and join me. We are going to do 10 of these on each leg. So get the foot up on that bench. Remember, big obtuse angle, so you might need to kind of walk that back foot back, and let's go 10 together. Think of keeping the hips square, meaning both hips are facing forward and driving that front knee forward. It's okay if you don't come as far forward as me, but if you find that you're getting stopped over here where your knee is still behind your heel, take that surface up a little bit higher. If you're using a set of stairs, go up to the next stair. 8, 9, 10, and let's switch legs. Remember where that first foot was, you can just put the second foot there. And then we will lunge once again. Now the back toes, the back foot, the whole foot is facing forward. You don't want it to be kind of at an angle here with your toes splaying outwards away from the midline of your body. You want both toes, both sets of feet to face forward. We got 3 more. 3, 2, 1. Good. Now meet me down on the floor. We'll do this one together. You're going to come to all fours, and I want you to get your knees right underneath your hips and your hands right under your shoulders. Spread out your fingers. Point your pointer finger towards north, and everything else spreads out fully, trying to make contact with all of the knuckles on the floor. Tuck your toes under. You're going to take a sharp exhale, brace your core, and slightly tuck the pelvis under. And now I want you to, I'm going to count down for it, but lift your knees up just enough for a matchbox car to get underneath. So 3, 2, 1, lift up. And we're going to hold here for 20 seconds. What I want you to be mindful of is that your lower back isn't sinking and your knees aren't migrating up. We want to stay exactly where we first popped up to. Hang in there. We almost got this, guys. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, relax. We're going to do this one more time. So Bring your foot up on that surface. Now, if you have really, really good knee mobility, you can come down lower. I personally do this on a yoga block, but that will be more of a challenge, and this should feel more like a stretch, especially a stretch on the back thigh. So together, 10 reps. 1, 2, 3. Keep moving. Good. Switch to the other leg. Again, remember, big angle with the thighs, and that back foot doesn't want to point out. It wants to point forward. You're going to be on the toes of the back foot, rocking back and forth. Keep going. Hands can be on your hips. They can be out by your side for balance. I find the hips are probably the most comfortable. We have 4, 3, 2, 1. Great job. Step down. Meet me back down on the floor for another beast hold. Hands underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips. All 10 fingers are spread apart and flat on the ground. Press all 10 knuckles down. The more hand that's on the ground, the more support you have. Now tuck your toes under, sharp exhale. Tuck your pelvis under, brace the core, and lift the hips. Lift the knees. I meant lift the knees. We're gonna hold for 20 seconds. You got this. Your shoulders, your arms, your thighs are gonna really feel this, but it's a great exercise to do to prepare for squatting. If you feel like you're a pin about to pop out of something, you're too close together. And if you feel like, ooh, I'm really having a hard time staying up, you're probably too far apart. And relax. Nice. Now we're going to move on to the big major lift part of your workout, which is doing a single kettlebell front squat and a single kettlebell floor press. If you requested this video from me, it's probably because you watched the video where I was teaching you how to do a single kettlebell front squat. So we're gonna dig into that a little bit more today, and we're gonna superset it with the chest press, so the floor press. And this is that classic squat and press combination I was talking about during the intro for the video. So what we're going to do is start with that single kettlebell front squat. So I want you to go ahead and grab a weight that you can hold in a front rack in one hand. If I were doing this workout on my own, I would probably pick a 16 to a 20 kilogram, but for this video, because I am filming a lot today, we are gonna be using an 18 pound or an 8 kilogram. What I want you to do is cheat clean the bell up, meaning you're gonna put it in the hand it's gonna sit in, other hand goes over it, and think of keeping the bottom facing down as you clean the bell up into a front rack. Now just watch for a second here. The other arm shoots out beside me. I'm gonna take a sharp exhale, brace the core, and then I'm gonna drive my knees out as I sit down and stand back up. What tends to happen to people is they favor the side that is loaded, but I want you to think it's keeping your center of gravity over the midline of your body. Now that's gonna be your challenge. Okay, so grab your bell. We're gonna be going for 8 to 10 per side. We're gonna superset it with a chest press, which I'll show you in a minute when we get there, and we're gonna do 3 rounds of this together. So get that kettlebell, cheat clean it up. Exhale through the pursed lips, brace the core. I'm gonna show you from the side now, and we're gonna go together. Hips go back and down, our torso stays up. We're doing 8 to 10 reps, and then we'll switch to the other side. You got this. 5, 6, 7, 8, put it down if you're ready, if not 9, 10, great job. Let's switch to the other side. And while you have my side view, I'm gonna pick up the bell, I'm gonna tell you a bit about squat depth. The squat you should do is the squat that you can do without pain with good form. Now for some people that might not be as deep. If you want to deepen your squat, you can elevate your heels up on a folded mat or squat wedges. This is going to help to improve your range of motion on that squat, but we don't need to go ass to the grass. We can just get the hips as low as the knees. All right, put those bells down. Great work. Let's come down for our floor press. The floor press is perhaps the least advantageous exercise you can do with a kettlebell that you could do with a dumbbell or a barbell, but it doesn't make it bad. Just means it's a little trickier. We're gonna start in the fetal position with our kettlebell. Watch first. I'm gonna roll and have it on my right side. So I'm starting on my right side with it in my right hand. Left hand goes over it to bring it up. I'm gonna roll onto my back. And now I'm going to lift the hips and press the lower back into the floor. There's other variations, but this is what we're doing today. I'm then going to bring my elbow about 45 degrees away from my body. My opposite elbow is going to drive into the floor. I'm going to press my feet into the floor. Inhale and exhale, press that bell up. And think of pulling it down, not letting it fall down, but pulling down. And while you do this, you want to pull your shoulder blades down your back, and then you'll feel your chest pop and you'll feel it working in your chest as opposed to your shoulders. So I want you to go ahead and grab your kettlebell. You could use the same one. Maybe it's heavier, maybe it's going to be lighter. Personal choice here. We're going to lie in the fetal position. Kettlebell's in your right hand. Left hand comes on top of it. We're going to roll onto our backs. Get your lower back pressing into the floor. Press both feet into the floor. Opposite elbow digs into the ground. Make a fist. Think of pulling that other arm without a kettlebell down as the kettlebell goes up. We're gonna do 8 to 10 reps again. Inhale, exhale, press. Remember, elbows 45 degrees away from the body. Pull the shoulders down the back. This is gonna tap into the chest and keep it out of the neck and shoulders. That was 8, 9, 10. Now do not drag that kettlebell across your body. I want you to get your hands around it like you were going to halo it, and then we're gonna halo it over our heads. Just picking it up a tiny bit, especially if it's a lighter weight. You can do that pretty easily. Now we're gonna come to the fetal position on the other side and roll to our backs. Now you might have noticed a big challenge is not getting rolled over. That is what makes the single kettlebell floor press a great version. Even though maybe you could go heavier if you had a dumbbell, it really challenges your core stabilization and your balance. So both feet into the floor. Opposite elbow digs in. Inhale, exhale, press up. Elbows 45 degrees away from the body. Shoulders are pulling down the back. And our wrist is straight. I didn't say that yet, but the wrist wants to be straight. 6, 7, bring your elbow down to the floor each time. Tap it down to the floor. That was 8, you could put it down, or you could do 9, 10. Great work. Fetal position to put it back down. We don't just want to let the bell fall open, because even if you can control that weight, your shoulder doesn't like it after time and time again of doing it. Now we're going to stand up and do that superset 2 more times. So grab your kettlebell. Start with it in the right hand because we've been working on the right side for our starting side. Pick it up. We're going to do 8 to 10 squats. Remember, keep your weight over the midline of your body. Breathe in as you go down. Breathe out as you stand up. We got this. 6, 7, 8. Put it down if you want to. More. 9, 10. Switch sides. Pick the bell up. Weight over the midline of the body. Keep the torso upright as you go down. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 2 more if you got it. 9, 10. Nice work. Meeting back down on the floor. Pause the video if you need it, but I'm going to keep moving. Starting in the fetal position. On your right side, roll onto the back. Both hands are there so that way you can maneuver the bell a little easier. Don't waste energy getting it in place. Make sure it's not on a painful spot on your wrist. If it is, readjust it to a fleshier part. Now drive both feet into the floor. Lower back into the floor. Opposite elbow into the floor. Inhale. Exhale, press up. 8 to 10. Elbows at a 45-degree angle. Wrist is straight. Shoulders pulling down the back. That means think of putting your shoulder blades into your back pocket. This is 8, 9, 10. Good. Now we're gonna halo that kettlebell around the back of our heads. Over to the other side. Roll up. Readjust the kettlebell, make sure it's on a comfortable spot in the back of your wrist. Lower back into the floor. Press your feet down, opposite elbow down. Inhale, exhale up. Now when you press the bell up, push down with both feet and your elbow. That's gonna give you a little extra torque, a little extra momentum in there. More power. 8, 9, 10. Relax. Put the bell down. We have one more set. Squats and chest presses. Now, if you're doing this on your own and you've picked heavier weights, please take more rest time. The idea is not to go as quickly as possible. I'm just trying to keep this video a reasonable length. So we're gonna pick up the bell in the right side, elbow goes down towards the waist, apex of the knuckles towards the ceiling. Get your feet to your squat distance. That means your knees can track over your toes. And go. Now, if you find your knees fall inside of your feet, that means your feet need to be wider. I mean narrower. If the knees fall inside the feet, narrower feet. 8, 9, 10. Good. Put the bell down, switch sides, pick it up. 8 to 10 to finish this off. Now, if you find your knees really go past your feet, you can go wider on the feet. Halfway there. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Nice work. One more set of floor press. Come down, kettlebells on the right side. I'm in fetal position on the right side. Roll onto my back. Hopefully your hair's not as much of a problem as mine. Don't recommend a low pony for this particular set. Press the lower back into the ground. Press the feet into the ground. Make sure the elbow's in the right position. Inhale, exhale, press everything into the ground as you push up. Good job. That was 10. Switch to the second side. Halo the kettlebell around you. You can also have both hands on the top to halo it. Get the kettlebell into the left hand. Roll onto your back. Lower back presses into the floor. Press both feet down. Opposite elbow digs in. Now, you can chest press with an arched back. That's just slightly different. This is a beginner variation. So if you chest press with an arched back, you're welcome to do that. And we can chest press on the floor with a glute bridge. That is just not how I'm teaching it today. Inhale on the floor, exhale, press up. Last 8 to 10. Pull that shoulder down the back. You don't want to feel like your arm is flying out of the socket at the top of the press. If it does, you've probably also gone too light. 8, 9, 10. Great job. Put that bell down. You have finished the first superset. Now we are going to move on to doing push-ups and reverse lunges. So more chest and arms and knee bends. Lunges are knee bends, push-ups work the chest. Now, no worries if you can't do a push-up on the floor, you're gonna do it up on an inclined surface like the bench or even the wall. I will demonstrate both. And the reverse lunges you can do with or without weight. So we're gonna stand on up. I'm first gonna show the push-up on the floor. You come to a tall plank position with your hands just inside your shoulders. You're then going to press your heels past your toes and push your hands forward. Think of trying to pull the mat apart. Then we're gonna tuck the pelvis under and you can have a soft knee. We're kind of looking for a hollowed out appearance. Then bend the elbows out at that 45-degree angle you had earlier with your chest press. Come down to 90 degrees with the elbow and back up. Down and up, down and up. All right, if you feel your hips sagging, if you feel it in your upper neck, that is probably not the right variation for you. You can take it up to an inclined surface. Same principles apply, like you're trying to push the bench or whatever it is away from you and pull your feet back, tuck the pelvis. Now you're trying to bring your chest as close to that bench as you can while keeping your hips from sagging. And if that is too much, you can do it on the wall. Get your hands about just below the shoulders. Tuck the pelvis under, and you're gonna come onto your tiptoes. Whatever version works for you is the version I want you to do today. So we are gonna start with 5 to 10 push-ups. So come to your tall push-up position, whether it's on the wall, the bench, or the floor. Press your hands into that surface, pull your heels back, tuck the pelvis, hollowed out body, 5 reps. Nice work. Stand on up. If you're going to do 10, keep on going. You probably are almost already there. Now we're going to do a reverse lunge. You can do it with body weight, or you can hold that kettlebell in the goblet rack position in front of you. Whichever version you pick, you're going to take a big step back, bend both knees, and come towards the floor. That back knee doesn't need to come all the way to the floor, but it does want to sit just below the back hip. You see there? I have those 2 nice 90-degree angles. I'm not taking a little short step, but more frequently, what I see, I'm not taking a huge step. That's almost impossible to come up from. You want to have some leverage. And you can also do it with body weight. So I'd like you to join me. We're going to do 8 to 10 reps per leg. Starting with the right leg. In the front, big step back with the left. And go back with the back leg. And then it's going to push you up. And the front leg is going to pull you up. If you have trouble with balance, find a non-moving point in front of you and stare at it. We have 3, 2, 1. Nice. Switch legs. Right leg goes back, left leg's in front. Think of pinning the front toe towards the floor, to the floor if you have trouble with balance. And down. Now, if this is really out of the question for you, if you struggle super hard with your balance, totally normal. I want you to hold on to something on your side, like a chair. 7, 8. Nice work. Now we're gonna go to our push-ups again. I'll demonstrate this time on the bench. We are going to go for 5 to 10 push-ups again. So come to that tall plank position, tuck the pelvis under. Elbows out at 45 degrees, 5 to 10 reps on your own count. Don't let the head sag. Look just out in front of you, towards the edge of your bench, the edge of your mat. Great work. We're going to go again for those reverse lunges again. We can hold the kettlebell in the front rack or just go body weight. 8 per leg. Left leg steps back first. My torso stays really upright. What I want to avoid is really tunneling forward. It's going to make that back leg go too far out behind us because the leg wants to act as an extension of the spine. So don't lean too far forward. 7, 8. Great job. Switch to the other leg. The other thing you want to avoid is pressing up off your leg. If you find you have to press up off your leg, take a bench or take a chair next to you and use that. I'd prefer you press up off of something a little bit higher. 7, 8. Nice work. 1 more set of push-ups and 1 more set of lunges. For those push-ups, now I'm going to demonstrate again on the wall. My hands are just below my shoulders. I'm leaning my feet away, so I still got a bit of an angle. Tuck the pelvis under, elbows out at 45 degrees. 5 to 10. On the wall variation, you might find you have to pull your hands down a little further to feel like you have room to push. 6, 7, 8, 5 to 10 on your own count. I just did 8. Nice work, and 1 more set of reverse lunges. I'm going to show you from the front this time so you can see what my legs do. They really are normal standing distance apart, and one goes back. You don't want to have one leg hiding behind the other. You'll have no balance. So 8 per leg. Well, 8 to 10. Really press that big front toe into the floor. to keep you grounded. 6, 7, 8. Switch legs. Remember, we're holding the kettlebell in the front rack or just body weight, depending on where you're at. If I was holding onto something, it would be right here on the side of my working leg. The working leg is actually the front one. 7, 8. Nice work, y'all. I'm a little out of breath, so I can only imagine you're a little out of breath and sweaty. Granted, you don't have these bright lights so you can see yourself on screen, but I hope you had a great workout. And if you want to learn more, if you want to dig deeper into kettlebells, and maybe this follow along format was a little fast, didn't quite teach you enough, I get it. This isn't my favorite way to teach. I do have my She Spells and Bodyweight program, which gives you one-on-one attention. Much longer individual tutorial videos where you'll actually learn one exercise at a time and then have a chance to practice that exercise without jumping from one to the next and feeling like you can't keep up. And you can sign up for that program in the link below and the link up here, and I'm happy to chat with you about it. If you want to put time on my calendar, there's a link for that too. So thank you so much for making it through the workout. I'm sorry if it took longer than I said it would, but I hope it was worth it, and have a great day.